Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football, welcome to World Cup Watchalongs, the place of World Cup Watchalongs, the place of World Cup community. It's That's Football, I'm Mark Goldbridge, and we are live for Scotland, Scooby-Doo, against Morocco. How are we all feeling? Well, we're ready to go tonight. Two big games tonight as well, Brazil against Haiti. I can't really do anything with their name, but I can do something with Brazil. Scotland, Morocco. Look, very good result for United States earlier on. We're sponsored by Ball Sports. We'll talk about that in a moment. But Scotland with the opportunity where I feel, and thanks everyone on TikTok who's given us early follows. YouTube, give us a subscribe. Boadi, number 6 for Morocco. Definitely the player to keep an eye out for in that side. But full of great players. Mazraoui, Hakimi, Saibera up front, who's just moved, Brahim Diaz. They're a very, very good team, Morocco. I thought they were brilliant for half an hour against Brazil last week. I think this is going to be a tough game for Scotland, but 3 points already for Scotland. If they could get another point from Morocco or Brazil, I think they will be in with a great chance of making the next round, which has got to be what they're looking to do, isn't it? So, yeah, very excited to see how it's going to pan out. As you know, we have been sponsored by Boyle Sports on some of our streams, and tonight is no different. I have my bet builder. If you don't know what a bet builder is yet, this is when you put a load of things together, it's basically, you put a load of things together as one bet. It can be yellow cards, corners, goal scorers. So my bet builder with Boyle Sports tonight is Morocco to win. Saibari to score any time, over 2.5 goals, over 7.5 corners, and Lewis Ferguson for Scotland to get booked. I haven't had a bet builder come in yet. Tonight, I'm thinking with my head, I think this is going to work. So let's see how it goes. Give it a go yourself. Click on the QR code or go through the link in the description. What do you think of my bet builder? Have a go yourself during the World Cup. And throughout the tournament, the team at Ball Sports are setting you some World Cup quiz questions as well. This is just for fun. Which unique and World Cup record does Scotland hold, which is officially registered by the Guinness Book of Record? We'll tell you that at half time. If you don't know the answer, keep hold of the answer. Don't forget, when placing any bets this tournament, make sure you put your loyalty and your patriotism aside and pick with clarity of thought. I would like Scotland to win, but I have gone with Morocco with clarity and thought. Bet with your head, not with your heart. Don't let your emotions muddy the waters. As always, it's 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. Please bet responsibly. Terms and conditions are in the description and via the QR code. So my bet builder is Morocco to win, Sabari to score at any time, over 2.5 goals, over 7.5 corners, and Lewis Ferguson to get booked. I'm liking the look of this. I'm liking the look of this a lot. We've had a few technical issues today. I blame Rory Jennings because it just seems the natural thing to do. But I've just realised that I do not have a first half ticker. So I'm hoping this is going to work. Desktop. Will it work? Wait, you're massive. Oh, this is annoying. It's too big. That's what she said. Way too big. That's an office joke, by the way. You can do that. Oh, God. This is going to take time I just don't have. I just can't be asked to do this. I have people who do this for me. I shouldn't have to do this myself. That's still too big, I think. That'll do. I've got to do it again at half time. We're up and running anyway. For now, remind me to do this at half time because I just can't be bothered to do the second half one now. Basically, I lost my timer. I'll be honest. Anyway, we're up and running here. Scooby-Doo. How we doing then? Hey. I'll stop doing Scottish accents. You know what? I shouldn't do Scottish accents. Because if I did accents from other places, it would be deemed you can't do it, basically. Let's leave that. Right, I've got my coffee. I'm doing the Brazil game. We'll talk about the weekend schedule at half-time because that's what we do. Thoroughly enjoyed the USA game, by the way. Rory's watch-along was fantastic. I didn't listen to it. I listened to Talk Sport. No, I didn't really. I wouldn't listen to that. I'd rather paint a fence. And I hate painting fences. I watched the USA game. I love that Seattle stadium with the triangle at the end. We're in Boston today. We are in Boston today. And it's a bloody great goal. Sabari, 1-0 Morocco. He's just scored one of the goals of the season. That is an absolute howitzer. That is an absolute bomber of a goal by Sabari. I think he has signed for Bayern Munich. Not just literally now. He's not ran over to the table. 1-0 already. And it's an absolute banger. Back of the net. Get in. Sabari. Scotland. Well, Scotland. More like Slowland. And he's onside. He's onside as well. It is a great goal. It is an absolutely brilliant goal. He's beat the offside trap. The ball's bouncing and he's absolutely laced it. Literally laces. Watch this. Bang. Keeper can't save that. Outside of the foot. Game on. Scotland can't park the bus. They can't park the bus now. It's 1-0 in the first minute. And I tell you what, we are in for a cracking game, Sin. We are in for a cracking game. Tyron, thanks for your follow on TikTok. We're in for a cracking night tonight. I don't mind Scotland getting through. But if you watch them against Haiti, it was well organised and boring. Ultimately, as a football fan, you're probably better off with Morocco scoring early. Because Scotland will look to be counter-attacking, if I'm being completely honest. I didn't give you the Scotland team, did I? Gunn in goal. Hanley, Hendry, Turney, Patterson, McTominay, Ferguson, Robertson, McGinn, Christie, Adams. They're playing a back five. Morocco, Bono, Hakimi, Diop, Riyad, Mazraoui. I was very impressed with Riyad, actually. I think he plays at Crystal Palace, doesn't he? Buada, Alanu, Uwanahi, Alcanos, Diaz, and Sabari. And as I said, they were very, 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 very impressive for the first half, especially against Brazil. And they've been very impressive here in the first 2 minutes. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come. We want some goals this Friday night into Saturday morning. If you were making a cup of coffee or a cup of tea to get you through the night, you've missed an absolutely brilliant goal in the first 2 minutes for Morocco here in Boston. This is a coffee. I have to have my coffee. I won't drink my coffee in my second game. I drink it in my first game, and then I live off that for the next few hours. But yeah, looking forward to tonight. You know what? I've got to say, last night I didn't do Morocco against South Korea. Best decision I've made of the World Cup. I got an extra 3 hours sleep. I do not feel tired today. I feel like I've had my half-time rest. I was just absolutely lagging. Yesterday, just total lack of sleep across last week. I needed just to get into bed at 1:30 and sleep through. And I was so glad I didn't do it. And when I woke up as well, and Mexico had won 1-0, I thought I haven't even missed a big game either. Brazil will be 0-0, says Lurker. Mate, I would love to watch Brazil 0-0 with Haiti, because I enjoyed the Cape Verde 0-0 with Spain. I would love Haiti to get a 0-0 with Brazil. I actually think it might be 7 or 8-0. I think we're going to see loads and loads of goals. I think it's going to be a good game to watch. But, mate, I'd love it to be 0-0. I think it'd be great. Great story. You know me, I don't mind a bit of the old harambol. Ace Jack says Scotland are crap. Well, is it that Scotland are crap, or is it the fact that Morocco are actually very, very good? I mean, they're in the top. I certainly think they're in the top 8 in the world rankings. So yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks for all the new follows, King Kong and User. Thank you very much on TikTok. I was shattered last night. I was absolutely knackered last night. Yeah. Really tired. But, I did want to do South Korea, Mexico, but I wanted South Korea to win. Mexico have now qualified top of that group. They're the first qualifiers. We already know when Mexico are playing. And they're top of the group. So England can play Mexico in the last 16 in the Azteca. That's going to be very difficult for England. They don't lose many games there. That's why I wanted South Korea to top that group. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Ollie says the Moroccan manager looks like you, Mark. Well, Jeremy Kyle was doing well for Canada, isn't he? We were watching. I thought Canada Qatar was a good game last night. Had a lot going on. CCN Sports and Michael, thanks for your follows on TikTok. How are we doing for subscribers on YouTube? Actually, I haven't checked for a while. 486,700. Let's see if we can hit 487,000 tonight. On the road to 1.5 million. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with That's Football, the biggest and best football community. You're very welcome, and I'm absolutely refreshed and ready for tonight. I hope you are too. We will be going all the way through till 3:30 a.m. UK time. Brazil, Haiti after this. Actually, it's slightly better as well because it's not a 2 a.m. game. Normally, this game finishes at 1 and then you've got a 2 a.m. game. We haven't got a 2 a.m. game tonight. It's a 1:30. So we get half an hour extra in bed. But yeah, Morocco absolutely dominating Scotland here. And the funny thing is, Scotland, they're not that bad. Scotland, they're not that bad. They had a good pre-season and they've done okay, but a good pre-World Cup season. But look, as I say, going through that, Riyadh is at Crystal Palace. He's only 23, the centre-back, number 18. Diop obviously plays for Fulham, the centre-back. So it's a Premier League centre-back pairing for Morocco. Mazraoui as well, left-back. Hakimi, obviously, PSG. I may as well introduce you to some of these Moroccan players because they could go quite deep in this tournament, and I think they're a team to get behind. I mean, I want them to do well anyway because of Mazraoui, but, you know, I do like Hakimi. I think this Bouardi is a really exciting player. Who else have they got? Unahi is plays for Girona. He's playing in the midfield as well. Alcaraz plays for Stuttgart. I really like him, actually. Bilal Alcaraz plays for Stuttgart. Had an amazing season for them. He's only 22. Obviously, you know, Brahim Diaz plays for Real Madrid. And Sabari, I think he's gone to Bayern. It says he's still at PSV, but I think he's gone to Bayern. Yeah, and then the final player that we haven't mentioned is Al Ainoui, who plays for Roma. So they've got a very, very good team. And even on the bench, you know, you've got people like Amrabat. They've got a 19-year-old in the midfield called Murabet. They've got another 20-year-old in their midfield called Yassine, two 20-year-olds. I think they're an exciting team, Morocco. And certainly one you could get behind if you wanted to. Have a dark horse sort of team. And they're in again here. Lovely cross. And it should have been 2-0. I don't think they can believe it's not 2-0. Unahi puts the cross across the box. And they were queuing up, but nobody could get on the end of it. It's a bit of a shell shock start, this, from Scotland. Tebaho, thanks for the follow. Tom as well. Have we got any Scots in the chat? Apparently, you know, the Tartan army is taking over. You know, the USA. Sean says, if Scotland had to lose, at least they won their first game. They might still go through with 3 points. It just depends on goal difference. Because they only scored 1 goal against Haiti, their goal difference at the moment is 0, isn't it? So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Oh, I'm tucked in. If Scotland, yeah. So going back to what we're saying about Scotland, 3 points can get you through, but if your goal difference is shit, it might not. And because Scotland only scored 1 against Haiti, if they get battered by Morocco and Brazil, they probably won't go through with 3 points. I saw a Scottish fan talking about it, saying we'll go through because we beat Haiti, but I don't know whether you will. Very good start by Morocco, though. Sorry, I'm just clearing up the chat. Scooby-Doo, says Havard Edge. Thank you very much for your super chat. Morocco is the blueprint United should follow, says Ashish. What games are you doing, Mark, says True Gent. I'll talk about the rest of the weekend at half time, but Brazil, Haiti after this at half one. Thank you very much, True Gent. Morocco is French for Morocco, for those asking, says Red Devil Girl. Mark, are you a fan of Ross Kemp documentaries? Says Colin. Bit random, but no, haven't watched any. RJ says, thoughts on the USA game? They look really good. I mean, I don't know how far they are going to go in the tournament, the United States. I've sort of done a mini predictor, which I'll talk about in a moment, but they should top that group, and they're very well organised, and they're very energetic. So I don't see the USA struggling against anybody. I think they'll give everybody a game. That leg break was a heartbreak, says Ashish. Apparently he's going to be out for about 3 or 4 months, so should be back at some point. That's weak. Go for Turkey, Paraguay too, says Constant. I'm not doing bloody Turkey at 5 a.m. Some classic look alikes tonight. Mark Silverbridge versus a malnourished Sean Connery, says Nick P. How far do you think USA can go in the tournament, says Daryl? It depends, because it looks like, I mean, Austria have got a horrible. If Austria finish second in their group, I think they play Spain. Whereas a lot of teams that finish second get to play a second team from another group. It's a bit unlucky, really. A lot of teams that finish second are playing each other, but Austria get a first place. Mexico have been terrible. They don't scare me, says Robert. Yeah, I agree with you, Robert. I do think England would beat Mexico, but what bothers me is that, you know, like Bolivia have an incredible home record because of the altitude. So we won't have time to adjust to that. In fact, I was speaking to somebody about it, and they were basically saying if you're playing at altitude, you either need to be there a few days before to adjust, or literally fly in the same day as the game. Hi Mark, hope you're well. Had a good day here for both watch-alongs, says Daniel. Brazil play and got WWE. Great night of sports, great evening United Stand show earlier. I did enjoy the United Stand earlier. Thank you, Daniel. I hope you're doing well. Swiss versus Bosnia and USA versus Australia watch-alongs were fun. Hope he does more watch-alongs on this channel, says Havertz. Yeah, we've enjoyed having. I mean, look, I like it when the studio do it in Manchester, but it was nice to get Rory on. I asked him when we did that video for Sport Bible, and it was very nice to get him on. Robert McCormack says this means Scotland have at least got to come out. Yeah, I think from was good. I think it's good for the game that we've got that early goal. Matty says Rory's Ross Kemp Dua Lipa chat was top tier. He was very good. Haven't even turned on the game yet, says Stardust. Did you just push the USA host game to your proxy? You should be on poly. What the hell is that? Alpha. Oh, I don't even know what that means. Scottish fans filled Fenway last 3 days. FSG wins, says Oil Cruiser. Are you on the watch along for Germany, Ivory Coast? Yes, Jack, I am. Apparently Gary Lineker is going to be on ITV tomorrow as a pundit for Germany, Ivory Coast. I just think that's such a knobhead move. You know, BBC gave him a career and he's going to go on ITV. I just think says a lot about somebody that. Loads of people saying, yeah, good one. I don't know. I mean, I remember when Des Lynam was on BBC and Lineker was just wet behind the ears pundit. He got match of the day for a generation and then he's going to go on ITV as a pundit. I just think it's a bit of a knobhead move. I know a lot of people, I know I'm in the minority there, but if he does do that, I just think it's a bit of a knobhead move, to be honest. As somebody who's had a few people stab them in the back in this industry, I just think it's a knobhead move. Have you, Mark? You have to do one Australian game for his Aussie fans, says Sam. Talk to me at half time, Sam. They're in again, Morocco. Keeper did really well. Lack of pace at the back for Scotland, you know. That's your problem. Thank God for the World Cup. If it was on, I wasn't on, I'd be miserable, says 95. I'm loving the World Cup being on. It's my escapism from, because I could never switch off from football. So if we didn't have the World Cup, I'd just be constantly refreshing, waiting for something good about Man United. We've had 2 shit days of updates, really bad updates. So the only good update has been the fixture list. We'll be top of the league in September. Giles, you're so boring. I'm going to block you. Go away. I'm going with a Morocco win here, says Constantine. He did put that out before. I'm just catching up on some super chats. And Irish Ryan says there's something special about this World Cup, and Balogun would be a decent signing, wouldn't he, for a mid-table team in the Prem? I think you're right on both, Irish Ryan. Very good super chat. Look, I don't want to say I told you so, but I did say this was going to be a very special World Cup, and I said it weeks before. I wouldn't say I'd looked into the future. I'd actually looked in the past. USA 94 was an awakening for many of us who watched it, because a lot of people said it's going to be crap. Americans don't even like football. And we had this amazing World Cup in these stadiums that are basically NFL stadiums with great weather and really good football and packed out stadiums as well. So when people were like, oh, Americans don't like football, the stadiums are going to be half empty because it's so expensive. They're not half empty. Every game is nearly full. I think it's been a brilliant World Cup. I really do. And I think it's only going to get better. I mean, look, it feels like I was looking at it today. We've still got 2 group games to go, then a round of 32, then a round of 16 before we even hit the quarterfinals. So we've got so much football still to come. And I'm absolutely loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, look, I'm not like some of you. I'm not obsessed with watching every game. Corner here, headed away. I'm not obsessed with watching every game. I mean, there are certain games where I look at it and I go, yeah, I'm not doing that. And also, it would kill me. I mean, it's just impossible to watch every game, physically. But I'm really enjoying it, and I'm loving the stadiums. They're just so unique. And also, not just in the States, but Mexico, Canada. It's brilliant. And look, I'm not pushing it. If you don't like the World Cup, that's absolutely fine. But a lot of people told me the Qatar World Cup was amazing. And if you think that's amazing, what's this? This is just a proper summer World Cup with, stadiums that aren't 5 minutes apart. Football's good. And we've had some cracking games as well. I mean, like I say, Canada, Qatar, you'd never watch it. 2 red cards, hat trick, 6 goals. Beardy Bruce Lee Central says, if you don't like the World Cup, there's something wrong with you. Thank you for the follow on TikTok, Slides, and Sayweed and Mad Bates. Thank you very much. Would you like to be in New York? I know a few people who live in New York, and I know a few people who are in New York, and I've spoken to them this week because I do love New York, and they've said, you'd hate it. And I hate it when people say that, you'd hate it, because that's a negative against me, really, because what's their preconception of me? But they've just said it's just really busy. And New York is busy, but they said, nah, it's crazy busy, and it's hot. Constantine says they didn't let booze in Qatar, advantage USA. And Dino says, if England do well in the World Cup under Tuchel, would you be looking forward to the qualifiers in September for the Nation Leagues for England? Dino, nothing's going to make me look forward to an international break. You're not going to get me on that. Yeah, nothing's going to get me looking. I don't like international breaks. Although one thing I will say is that we've only got 2 international breaks this autumn instead of 3. They're longer ones, which I don't mind. They're 3 weeks instead of 2, but we only get 2. And instead of on game week 3 of the Premier League going to an international break, it doesn't happen until game week 5, and we get a Champions League game before it as well. So I'm all for that. What do you think the toughest sport is, Mark? Says Liam. No idea. There's a yellow card here for Moroccan for a foul on Adams. Is a Diop. Aiden says, I'm Scottish. I knew this would happen. We started Hanley, who is terrible and slow at the back. There is a lack of pace at the back, Aiden. They've got in behind a few times. True Gent says, Lineker got fucked. They fucked him. He can do what he likes, in my opinion. And that's absolutely fine. I knew it'd be in the minority, but I just think it's a bit egotistical. He doesn't need the money. He's doing it to, you know, stick the knife in. And I think people like that are just a bit narcissistic. Mark, thoughts on Jeremy Clarkson? Don't know the person. I do like his content on Clarkson's farm, Hasnan. England can get 3rd place team from EHIJ or K, says Jack. I hope Scotland get battered. They can't enjoy a World Cup if Ireland can't, says Chris. See, the Scottish would love England to lose. They'll love it if we get knocked out. But I really am quite indifferent. I don't really care. You know, I think they, you know, look how many fans they've got. It would be nice if they stayed in the tournament. Mackenzie Celtic says, this is going to be a long night. Dropped Duac for no reason. Yeah, a lot of Scottish fans not happy with the team. Scooby-Doo. Leo and Alaya, thank you very much for your follows. I've got a hydration break coming in. That tends to mean me getting up and walking around my light and my chair. Have a little bit of a stretch. There are many. Why are they doing an offside? Oh no, that was just a replay there. B Polly says, how you doing, Mark? I'm doing very, very well. Chapman's given his very first ever super chat on YouTube. He says, I just want to say I hope Diamonde does really well. Did you see the letter he wrote to his sister? Heartbreaking. Mate, I did a video on Diamonde on this channel this morning about the Liverpool bid. Obviously, I don't like Liverpool for sporting reasons. They're Man United's biggest rival. But I do like Diamonde, and I think he's a bloody fantastic player. Morocco could top this group as well. I think that is worth considering. They could top this group. We'll talk about that in a moment. Don't forget that we are sponsored by Boyle Sports, and you can do your own bet builders throughout the World Cup. I've got my own bet builder on the go. A bet builder is where you put a number of things together. There, oh, he doesn't look anything like me. Just because he wears glasses, my hair is infinitely better than his, and I've got more of it. That was a bite. So yeah, scan the QR code or go through the link in the description if you want to use Boyle Sports. My bet builder today is Morocco to win. Got it. Sabari to score any time. Got it. Over 2.5 goals. Not yet. Over 7.5 corners. 3. and Lewis Ferguson to get booked. I'm on here. This is the best one I've had so far. I've got Sabari scoring. I've got Morocco winning at the moment. We will get there with the corners. I need another 2 goals in the game, and I need Lewis Ferguson to get booked, and I'm home and hosed. You can get involved by using stats, form, and listening to your head over your heart. Back yourself to get it right if you want to build your own bet builder with Ball Sports. And don't forget, I'm asking 2 World Cup themed questions, which I'm going to give the answer to at half time. Which Guinness World Record do Scotland hold and are officially recognised by the Guinness World Records? I'll tell you that. And the second is, before the tournament, these 2 teams have only met once before in World Cup history. Scotland lost 3-0 in 1998, but which Scotland player was dramatically sent off with a straight red card during that infamous match? If you know that, you've got to be old, unless you've studied history. I'll give you the answers at half time. And remember, back yourself with Ball Sports. 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. Please bet responsibly. Terms and conditions are in description and on the screen. So basically, just book Ferguson. And I'm going to get home on mine, definitely. Thank you. Yeah, I am doing Brazil. I can't help doing Brazil in a World Cup. I don't know about you. I know they're playing Haiti, and it might not be a game that you know, others are going to watch. But I just think Brazil in the World Cup, you should cherish it and watch it. They're the most, iconic World Cup team. I'm also hoping that Ancelotti plays a little bit freer. I really didn't like the way Brazil played against Morocco. I felt it was a bit like Arsenal. So I'm hoping they're going to open up a little bit and try and score some goals tonight. Entertainers. Because I can't see Haiti getting a result. But Morocco could top the group. It'll all come down to goal difference, won't it? It's going to be about who scores the most goals against Scotland and Haiti. But don't sleep on Morocco. They could be. I don't even want to call Morocco a dark horse. I mean, they are a dark horse because if they won the World Cup, it would be incredible. But I can definitely see Morocco hitting. Depends on the draw, doesn't it? Just depends who you're going to meet along the way. I mean, but Morocco would give, I think, they're a bit like the USA, but they're probably better than the USA. I genuinely think they'll give everybody a game. Morocco. Yeah, I've sort of predicted who's going to play who in the last 32. It's very difficult, but I'm trying to see where Morocco would play. Yeah, I've got Brazil, Sweden in the last 32, but I think that's if they top the group. So that could be Morocco. And that's if Sweden finish second. I don't even know where Morocco are. I think I've messed this up because I haven't even got Morocco in the last 32, and they would be. Shot over the bar there for Morocco. Why have I not put them in? Last 32. South Korea, Canada, Brazil, Sweden, Germany, Norway, Ivory Coast, France. Wouldn't play Morocco either. Netherlands. Oh, no, that's why. I've got, if Morocco finish second in their group, Netherlands. Last 32. If they finish top of the group. So basically what's going to happen is, and this is what I mean, sometimes if you finish second in your group, sometimes if you play first in your group, sometimes if you finish first in your group, you play a third place team. But Morocco's group and the Netherlands group are a little bit unlucky because the winner of Group F plays the winner, the second place Group C team, and the winner of Group C plays the second place Group F team. So basically, the group that's got Sweden, Japan, Netherlands, Tunisia in, whoever tops that is playing the second place team from this group. So effectively, Brazil or Morocco, if they finish top 2, are going to play Sweden, Japan, or the Netherlands. So they're probably going to be games of the round, really. Mackenzie Celtic says, by the way, you say Doak isn't where you say it. It's Doake. 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 Okay. Start bench sell. Taibbi, Anana, Kushek. Sam, why are we doing irrelevant shit Man United goalkeeper start bench sell in the World Cup? You'd be better off doing, you know, start bench sell Ken Barlow, Ian Beale, and some twat from Hollyoaks. I just discovered the channel and subscribed last week, and I've been loving it. Much love to the Rory guy and you co-hosting. You're doing amazing, says TK Me. I love that when we get new people following us or subscribing and finding this amazing channel. Thank you. Kind of new to football, loving your channel, says Jason. No 0-0 mark. I don't do 0-0s. I didn't do a 0-0 in the... I've never done a 0-0. Find a watch-along in a major tournament where I've done a 0-0 and I'll call you a liar. I do not do 0-0s. And I'm not going to do one here. Do you... We've not had many 0-0s in this World Cup, though, have we? I think we've only had one. Am I right? I think we had one... Have we had one 0-0 so far? Anyway, Kushek, I would start. Anana, I would bench. And the other guy I'd sell. Michael Sutton, thank you very much, says, do you think we could get a shock winner of the World Cup? I've got a sneaky feeling about Colombia. Mate, England winning it would be a shock because we haven't won it since '66. I think England are going to win it. If England don't win it, I want Morocco or Colombia or Japan, or I definitely want, you know, I don't want France or Spain or Argentina to win it. Jezza Clarkson's got cancer, mate, says True Gent. Yes, well, let's hope it's, you know, I think he's on the road to recovery, isn't he? Duffett says, why is Pep there? And thank you very much for that. Freddie, thank you for your follow on TikTok, and Mark as well. For people new to the sport, what do you recommend them to do to find a team to support, says Irish Ryan. Support Man United. Simply, if you're new to football, support Manchester United, because if you're watching this because you're new to football, that means you like this community. And if you need to find a team, it's logical to support Man United because we've also got another channel called The United Stand. So we have got you into football, obviously, because you're watching. And then we've also got a club-specific channel called United, where you can watch The United Stand as well as this channel. So support Man United. Easy. I should be on bloody commission. I'm doing the bloody Glazers work here. I'm getting more people in. Thoughts on the US-Australia game, says Sam. I think the USA look very good. I'm very excited about what they can do. And, you know, they're going to obviously take that game against Turkey quite seriously, aren't they? Because they're going to want to top the group. Topping the, you know what? This World Cup's good. There is jeopardy. People said there won't be any jeopardy till the knockouts. There is massive jeopardy because if you finish third, the chances are you're getting knocked out in the last 32 because you're going to get a heavy hitter. If you top your group, you've got a good chance of going through. So it's not just about qualifying. People say, oh, there's too many teams going through. But if you finish third, you're basically screwed. Unless you're a big team that's had a bad start. Scotland have done next to nothing here. No corners, no shots on target. It's really shit from Scotland, this. Morocco. McTominay loses the ball. Oh, terrible miss. Alcaraz should score that. He's in. Was McTominay fouled? I think it would have. I think that was a foul on McTominay. I know they're trying to let the game flow, but that was a foul on McTominay. It should have been given. But also, Alcaraz should have scored on his right foot. played him in, and he's whacked it over the bar. True Gent says, if anyone wonders why Hakimi's getting booed, Google it. Well, I can't hear it, mate, because I don't put the audio on. Wait, I'm a United fan since 2004. What's the name? Says TK Moon. The United Stand YouTube channel. Is Cape Verde, Spain the only 0-0? I think it is. VX, yeah. And if I can remember rightly, I think we had quite a few 0-0s in the group stage of Qatar. Constantine says, can you see a third place in a group team winning the World Cup? No, not unless it's a Spain or a Brazil who has a bad start. Thank you very much, Constantine, for your super chat. Dokoda says, thanks, Mark, you're the best. Oh, God, I tell you what, my left toe is absolutely killing. I feel like I've broke it. I don't know what moderators we've got in tonight, but big shout out to Solid Blake. I hope you're doing well, pal. Are we going to get Australian game watch along for us Aussie fans? I will go through the schedule at half time, because when you start looking at all the games, you're there for about 5 minutes. Good play by Morocco here. It's pitiful by Scotland, really, because they've been behind for 35 minutes. They've not had a corner. They've not had a shot. Yeah, it's basically all Morocco VX, yes. Garassi or Schick for backup striker, Mark, says Robert. Well, if you know anything about the Bundesliga, Garassi's on a different level to Schick, so it's Garassi. Insured Frame says, my conspiracy is the ball is messed up because I've never seen so many shots go towards the moon as I have this World Cup so far. You know what, though, mate? I'll tell you, right? Can I give you an example? No, because I haven't got a Nike ball, right? So, you know the heat map Puma ball? It's not on my shelf anymore because I take it down the park with Seb. I've got the heat map Premier League ball, a proper one, 120 quid. I got sent it by Puma, right? We take that and a couple of size 4 Puma balls that are Seb's, and then we take a Nike ball, match ball from last season, right? Doesn't matter how much you pump them up, you can pump them up to the same hardness, right? You hit the Nike ball, you hit the Puma ball, it's different. It's completely different. So this World Cup ball could easily be a little bit different. We've had it in the World Cup before, haven't we? 2010, the Jubilano. So, yeah. Mike, so you could be right, Insured Frames. Tana and Thomas, thanks for your follow on TikTok. Jossie says, what do you think about the USA? Look, I really do want Canada, USA and Mexico to do well in this tournament. And I would love one of them to hit the quarterfinals. Because I think once you hit the quarterfinals, your job's done. But you want one of the hosts to stay in. And because most of the games are going to be in the USA, you could say, well, you want the USA to stay in. But there are games in Mexico and Canada in the knockout stages as well. But yeah, I always want the hosts to do well. And the reality is, the USA are very entertaining to watch. I think Mexico have been... I know a few Mexicans from the United Stand, and they said, this is not a great Mexican team. It's actually quite pragmatic, and I think we've seen that so far. Hi, Mark. Best memories from 2002 and 98 World Cup, says Tom. 98 World Cup was probably Beckham's free kick against Colombia after Hoddle had dropped him for no bloody reason, for sick note Anderton. Have that. I was in the pub literally going, fucking have that, Hoddle. Have that. Everyone's celebrating. I'm going, fuck off, Hoddle. And 2002, I think Beckham's penalty against Argentina, again, similar, fucking have that. I mean, basically, it's very Beckham-centric in both World Cups, but he was my... icon, yeah. Noah, Curtis, Kamari, Reyist, thank you very much for your follow. Ah, oh, that's a nice drink, that is. Marco says, as an American, I don't know how the England squad in the mid-2000s failed to win the World Cup. That squad was absolutely stacked with talent. Look, rest in peace to Sven-Göran Eriksson, but his football was too pragmatic and boring. You know, rest in peace to Graham Taylor, but he wasn't good enough to be England manager, and that's why we didn't go to the 94 World Cup. You know, these people are dead, but it doesn't mean we can't tell the truth. And, you know, I'm sure they were nice people. And, you know, just because you fail as a manager doesn't mean that you're not a nice person. But you asked me the question, and that's the answer. The reason we didn't win in the 2000s was because Sven-Göran Eriksson was a bit of a Swedish Southgate. He could take you so far. I mean, look, 2002 World Cup, we're winning 1-0 against Brazil. We end up 2-1 down. Ronaldinho gets sent off. We've got about half an hour to attack them, and we couldn't fucking score. So, and then Brazil go and win the World Cup. We had half an hour against 10-man Brazil, and we couldn't get back in the game. It's probably the best opportunity we've ever had, and then Brazil go and win the World Cup. Sorry, there's actually people in the chat that didn't know Sven-Göran Eriksson was dead. Yeah, died. Well, it wasn't last week. I think it was last year. Hi, Mark. Thank you very much. Great question, Tom. Thanks for the follow, Jason. Thank you very much for that. The US could be back in Seattle if they can win their group and win the round of 32 match. That Seattle stadium, I love it. What's your favourite stadium in the World Cup, or your top three? I'd say it's not even the biggest. It's what you do with it. I think that Seattle stadium is one of my favourite, and I don't think it's even one of the biggest. I like the Azteca, Seattle, and I do quite like Boston. I just don't like the dinner hall behind it. Mercedes Stadium is mega as well. We're in Morocco. We're in Boston here. Brazil are playing in Philadelphia, which is quite a nice stadium as well. On the streets, Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. I mean, did you see how many fans? You know what? You know what I find about this World Cup, right? You know the people who are moaning about it, they've gone very quiet, haven't they? You know, like everyone was moaning at the start about how it doesn't feel like the World Cup. Well, it does. It doesn't feel like Christmas on December the 10th, does it? But it does feel like a World Cup now because it is a World Cup. 80,000 people at the Azteca for Colombia against Uzbekistan. Obviously, a lot of that will be Colombians, but Ghana, Panama, 42,000. Switzerland, Bosnia, 70,000 people watching Switzerland against Bosnia in LA. So, you know, the same thing happened in 94 though. Like they're well attended games. They really are. Edgar Blanco, thanks for the follow. Is VH the Azteca is the stadium that Mexico played in on the opening day. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's iconic, that is. 65,000 for Norway against Iraq, says Cal. Exactly. 4-2 says the stadiums have been great, but the pitches haven't been so good. It says 4-2-1-1. I haven't really noticed the problems with the pitches. I mean, you might be right, but I haven't really noticed it. Scotland, oh, cross was good. They've still got it. Another good cross. Oh, McGinn on the back post. And it was a difficult chance from Robertson's cross. He would have had to get a really clean connection, and he didn't. What happened to two shops doing World Cup sticker books and getting stickers when you did your shopping? I used to love it when I was a kid, says Dane. A lot of people are still doing the sticker books. How good was R9 in World Cup, and did you enjoy 2006 World Cup, says Tom. I did enjoy the 2006 World Cup. Again, I thought we had a great chance, but Rooney got sent off, didn't he, against Portugal, and that was that. The likes of Frank Lampard, Gerrard also underperformed tremendously for England, says Constantine. Yeah, well, this is what I mean about Sven. He'd put Lampard, Gerrard and Scholes in the midfield and put one of them on the left wing. And really, he should have only been picking one of them and put in Nicky Butt or, you know, a holding midfielder next to it. He used to put all the best players in the same 11, and it wasn't balanced. Dino says, have you heard the rumours that Greenwood could be sold to Roma and United would profit 40% of the sale if it goes through? Yeah, it's not that simple though, Dino. I think it's actually 50%, but it's 50% of the profit. So I think 25 million we got from Marseille. So if he goes to Roma for 40, you'd only get 50% of the 15 from 25 to 40. PXTXR, thanks for your follow. Scotland about to launch a long throw in here. It's in there, and they've cleared it away. It's amazing how Scotland are losing 1-0 and are still playing incredibly boring. Yeah. Yeah, Tom, Ronaldo, R9, incredible striker. They don't make him like that anymore. I wish they did. The most complete striker I've ever seen, R9, because you can say like Alan Shearer was complete because, you know, he could score with both feet, good in the air, you know, strong, great finisher. You can say Kane is complete. You can say Haaland is complete. The difference with Ronaldo is, and look, Thierry Henry could take people on and was quick, but R9 would be like taking the best trait of every striker and then putting it into him. So he's quick, brilliant in the air, can hold up the play, can link up the play, can get assists, can score with both feet, strong, can dribble. He had absolutely everything. Ian Rush wasn't complete because he couldn't get the ball and take people on. Ian Rush was world class. Harry Kane's world class, but Ronaldo had absolutely every trait. Like he could get the ball on the halfway line, skip past 4 players at ridiculous speed. I suppose, look, Ronaldo up front, is he not complete, quick, in his prime? You know, Ronaldo, I mean, we're talking about two Ronaldos, aren't we? I mean, very different players, but Ronaldo at his best up front, good in the air, quick, score with both feet, takes people on. But R9, I just preferred the build. And also, the problem with R9 was we didn't get many years of him because of injury. D, Billy B, William Kirk, thanks for your follows, and Mika as well. Pengas says, any advice on if it isn't big and you don't know what to do with it? I'm talking about stadiums, of course, as Pengas. Oh, thank God for that. How good was R9? I've done that one, thank you. I think we're just about to hit half time here, and we are. We are. Lexus, thanks for the follow. So let's stop the... Oh, God, I've just depressed myself. I've got to do another timer at the start of the second half. Remind me about that. So it is 1-0 to Morocco at half-time. Scotland have been poor. I'm actually a little bit disappointed in Scotland, if I'm being honest, because I thought in their games leading up to the World Cup, they actually looked like they could create chances and score goals. But having seen them against Haiti and in this first half, they just look really poor. I mean, 38% possession. They have had a couple of shots now. None on target, no corners. The only thing I'd say positive about Scotland is that they've done well to sort of calm the game down, because I think when Morocco scored so early, I thought it might end up being, not a thrashing, but I thought it might end up being, 2 or 3 quite quickly. So credit to Scotland for, sort of slowing the game down a little bit. But I think that's the problem with them. They're slow. It feels like a slow performance from them, and they don't seem to have a lot of speed in the team. And one thing I would say about this World Cup is, yes, you need energy, but I think you also need speed. Dino69 says, one of the best single performers I've ever seen in a person was Ronaldo's hat-trick at Old Trafford in the 02-03 season. Everyone stood up and clapped him off. I remember that one, Dino. Kyle says, the perception that Americans don't care about football is just not true in my experience. Bars are packed out on Saturday mornings for Premier League games, not as big as NFL or NBA, but lots of people care. I think, Kyle, you're probably right there. When I was in New York, which I don't mention, I had a hotel. It was the Highline. It was near the Highline. I think it was called the Standard, and it looked out onto. Is it the Hudson that looks out that way? Anyway, they've got loads of piers along there, and one of the piers where I looked out the hotel window had what I think was. Well, it was a 5-a-side pitch. It was not. It was a full-sized AstroTurf football pitch, and it looked great at night because it was lit up. I'm not joking. One night, I'd been out to a bar, got back to my hotel room, and I'd left the curtains open because the view was amazing, and the lights were still on, and they were playing football at midnight. And they say that it's the city that never sleeps. Well, I don't know anywhere in the UK where you're playing football at midnight in a lit up AstroTurf full-size pitch. So I think with football in the United States, it's such a big country. There's probably areas like Seattle. Rooney was on the telly earlier saying that in Seattle they absolutely love football. So I suppose it just depends what parts of America, isn't it? Nice to see no Glazers at the Glazer Dome, says 100T. That's not the Glazer Dome, it's Boston. Glazers are at Tampa. I don't think their stadium's being used. Are the top 5 players of all time Messi, Ronaldo, Maradona, Pele, R9, but not in that order maybe, says AMC. I mean, I think Zidane was a very good player. Pele, I just don't know. I think it's hard, isn't it? I always say, when I see someone in their early 20s on that Saturday social on Sky telling everyone how Rodri's better than Roy Keane, and you figure it out and you go, you definitely hadn't come out your mum's whatever when Roy Keane was playing in his prime. I don't like classing Pele as a top 5 player when I didn't see him play. In 30 years' time, someone might try and tell us that Nicholas Jackson was an amazing world-class player, One of the best single performers, thank you very much for that. La says, I appreciate you, Mark. I'm from South Africa. Thank you. Mezzalos, thank you very much for your follow on TikTok as well. What are your thoughts for the rest of the games today, says HG? What my thoughts are is that they're in New York and they're back with the backgrounds. It's not windy today. It's a bit smoky. I think that Brazil-Haiti will be a good game because it's Brazil and they should score a load of goals. I think in the second half here, if I'm Steve Clarke in the second half here, I'm saying if we don't get something out of this, we might need to get something out of Brazil. And I suppose it comes down to what you think is the better option. I mean, I think you're 1-0 down to Morocco at half-time. If you can somehow get a goal back and get a 1-1 draw, you're through to the next round. I mean, Scotland, with 3 points, probably won't go through, potentially. But with 4 points, they will. Tom Morgan says, rank these World Cup. Zidane, R9, Klose, Muller, Rivaldo. Didn't see Muller play, so he's out. Rivaldo did not rate him as much as Zidane or R9. Klose, World Cup record better than Rivaldo. So Zidane, R9. I'd always put R9 over Zidane. So I'd go R9, Zidane, Klose, Rivaldo. And I didn't see Muller play, so... Mark, how good was Batistuta? He was class. He was a very good striker, Michael Sutton. Yeah, a very good striker. It's hard to relate him to anybody in the modern game, but maybe Lewandowski. I'd like to say Haaland, but he wasn't as quick. Then again, we shouldn't be comparing players unless they're, come on, England, says Adam. Yeah, well, look, it's a great World Cup, but it's an even better World Cup having England doing well if you're English, certainly. Start, bench, sell, Carragher, Neville, Keane as pundits. I mean, obviously, Gary is the best pundit in football, so I'd have to start him. No, I don't actually have to start him. I'm doing that for a joke. I do like Carragher on Monday Night Football. I don't really... To be honest with you, because I don't watch games with comment... I mean, I don't really listen, do I? I don't listen to commentary, so I can't judge them as commentators. As pundits... If I'm being honest, the person I want to listen to the most, even though I don't always agree with him, I just think he's funny. And obviously, one of the two legends... favourite players from Man United in my life. So I'd have to start Roy Keane. I'd bench Neville because he's United, and I'd sell Carragher. But I don't think there's much between Carragher and Neville when I listen to them, really. Yeah. Sorry, I've just lost the live chat for a moment there. Thomas and Sherp, thanks for your follows. Anglo-Saxon says, I'm a Stokey, Mark. So Stanley Matthews, the first knighted English footballer, one of the best English players ever, played till he was 50. Thoughts? I mean, I never saw him play, mate. And I think football was so different then. You sometimes see people putting clips out of footballers in their 60s saying they were shit, but totally different time. Mbappe is R9, but better. Too many people in denial, mate. Mbappe is nothing like R9. Mbappe is a very good striker, but he ain't R9. No way. Absolutely no way. In my opinion, absolutely no way. Right, I do need to, just while we're chatting away, I do need to just make sure I can get this. Oh, I need to talk about the schedule, don't I? So we are doing Brazil against Haiti at 1:30 a.m. Be a late night tonight, which is fine. I couldn't do it last night. Oh my God. I was done. I was absolutely done. There ain't no way I was doing it. Okay. This is going to get... Look, here it is. Look, it's massive. It's done it again. Bit of entertainment for you, look. There it is. Still massive. You're too big, mate. Don't get this on ITV. If you're going to be a streamer, I'm telling you now, get used to... That's perfection. I mean, I think about how I started, and people won't like what I'm about to say, but because a lot of the people who do it don't like me, but when you look at the football live content industry, I'm very proud of the fact that most people copy us, whether it be thumbnails design or visuals or watch-alongs or anything like that. And it does make me laugh because as the originator of it, I had to learn all of this. I've just realised that I've switched it off, haven't I? Because the second half's not started. Okay, let me come back to you. Viva Morocco says user. It ain't started yet. No. I've turned the timer off because the game's not started yet. Somebody just said Scotland should be winning this game. Jim Jones says odds of 19-5 for a draw. Scotland could do it, Jim. Hi, Mark. Thoughts on Cal the Dragon's tragic message, says Tyler. Is that he's been he's retired as a footballer? I mean, I was stunned last night, Tyler. Absolutely stunned. I mean, he really should carry on. I love those garden matches. I know some people think I'm joking, but I love watching it. Hope you've not mentioned it, but what's with the Bruno hate? Who hates? Emmanuel. I mean, this is news to me. What's he talking about, Bruno hate? What's going on? What do you think about the quantity of World Cup games, says Louis? Look, I'll be honest with you. There is a lot of bloody games. And I was sat there today looking at the next 2 weeks. And even in 2 weeks' time, so today is what, the 20th now. In 2 weeks' time, we still won't be in the last 16. We'll be in the last 32 in 2 weeks. That makes me tired, if I'm being honest. 2 weeks today, we'll still be doing last 32 games. We won't even be in the last 16. So it's a long World Cup with a lot of games. But I am enjoying it. And I think when you get tired, take a break. Like last night, I wanted to do South Africa versus Mexico, but I was tired. So I just went, no, I'm not doing it. But I was looking at the schedule. There's a weird game on Sunday. Bloody Sunday. When is it? I think it's Sunday. Yeah, Sunday the 28th is a really weird day in the World Cup. It's almost a rest day, but it's not, right? So basically, on Saturday the 27th, so a week today, you get Panama, England at 10 o'clock. You get Colombia, Portugal at 12:30 a.m. And then in the actual day of Sunday the 28th, there's one game, 8 p.m. And there's not an early hours game either. So on Sunday, the 28th, in the day, you've got a last 32 game at 8 o'clock. There's no midnight game. There's no 2 a.m. game. There's literally one game. So it's almost like a rest day, but you get one game. I'll talk about the schedule in a moment. What I do need to talk to you about is, and I'm getting a little bit less confident now. I was being very arrogant before, which is very unlike me. As you will all know, I am Mr. Humble. I mean, I am the definition of humble. I'm quite reserved, pragmatic, conservative, not politically. But I was getting very excited about my bet builder. So Ball Sports sponsoring the stream. You can check that out by scanning the QR code or going through the link in the description. We do bet builders, and a bet builder is where you have a number of things that need to happen for your bet to come in, and everything that you add in there obviously boosts your odds. So I have got Morocco to win, yes. I've got Sabari to score at any time, yes. But I've got 5 things. So I've got 2 coming in at the moment, but over 2.5 goals. We've only got 1 goal at the moment. Over 7.5 corners, that's not been hit yet. And Lewis Ferguson to get booked. So I'm keeping an eye on those in the second half. Remember, 18 plus only, new UK and Ireland customers. Terms and conditions are in the description and on the screen. Please bet responsibly and be gamble aware. Also, I just remembered 2 questions I gave you as well. Did you know the answer to these? So which unique World Cup record does Scotland hold? It's actually officially recognised in the Guinness World Records. Scotland are the team with the most tournament appearances without ever reaching the knockout stage. So Scotland have the most appearances in the World Cup without ever reaching the knockout stage. They're in the Guinness World Book of Records, which is exactly what this second half is all about. And it's exactly what, you know, they've got a great chance of doing it. They need to try and get another point. Also, before this tournament, these two teams had only met once before. It was in the 1998 World Cup. They lost 3-0 Scotland to Morocco. But a Scottish player was dramatically sent off with a straight red card. It was, and USA fans will know this, Craig, well, they won't know it was him who got sent off, but they'll know who it is. Craig Burley. Second half is about to start here. I will talk about the schedule for the weekend as well in the first few minutes. I just want to make sure the timer is up and running. Beefy Daddy says USA. USA. I'm very pleased. Very pleased. I must admit, in the UK, there are people that don't want the USA to do well and don't like America. I don't know what the percentage is, but I just don't get that at all. I want them to do well. I don't know. Right, we're about to start the second half here. Scotland. Next goal's key, isn't it, really? We should be grateful that Morocco scored, though, because Scotland really would have just parked the bus. Living in America, coast to coast, across the nation. Living in America, down the highway. I don't know. I want to know the words to that. Lyrics to Living in America. Living in America. Lyrics. I've got it now. Living in America, eye to eye, station to station. Living in America, hand to hand, across the nation. Living in America, got to have a celebration, yow! That's the lyrics. James Brown, wasn't it? Very good song. It's in Rocky 4, basically. Horatio, thanks for the follow. Mark, you seem to become a big part of an American advert, mate. What advert's that then? You should read under Bruno's comments the calibre of player Bruno is. Everyone is angry for him for never passing to Ronaldo. Back pass FL, says John. What? So Bruno Fernandes is getting stick for not passing to Cristiano Ronaldo? I mean, I can't stand the Messi-Ronaldo debate. And what I will tell you is, Messi fans, if you say anything bad about him, are vile. And Ronaldo fans, if anyone says a bad thing about him, are vile. And it makes me laugh because proper football fans love them both as goats of the game. But why would Bruno Fernandes, the guy that's just broken the Premier League assist record, not pass to Ronaldo? It doesn't even make sense. So it's Bruno Fernandes' fault that Ronaldo is 41 and not the player he used to be. Ewan says, would you be in favour of having a 5-team group? How would that work? Joe says, who wins in a fight between the pundits? Well, now that Duncan Ferguson's doing punditry, I don't think there's many people that are going to beat Duncan Ferguson. Mexican fans are totally over the top. They only won against South Korea last night because of a blunder from a goalkeeper and are celebrating like they won the thing. Well, referee's just given a free kick. Right, I think he might have given a penalty. Or has he? Has he given a penalty or what? I mean, it should be a penalty to Scotland there. That's a penalty, surely. He's not giving it. I mean, I'm running a poll. I think that's a penalty. I just don't... Someone said it looks like a dive without contact from the replay. I mean, I'm only looking at it from front on, but to me that looked like it was a penalty. Let me know in the poll. If USA keeps this form, how far do you think they could go? I'm thinking quarterfinals, says Aaron. Just depends when and at what point you meet a France or a Spain or a Germany or an Argentina, because that's going to be where USA become the underdog. Lovely play down the wing by Morocco, and he's hit the cross and he's pulled it back and he's hit the shot and it's gone onto the bar. To be fair, on the penalty, it is pretty much 50-50, so it probably wasn't as clear-cut as I think it was. And it goes for a corner because it deflected. Do you think Colombia can make it far, says Ricky? Ricky! Sorry, I'm taking the piss out of your name. Adam on TikTok says it was definitely a penalty. I haven't seen Colombia play yet. I mean, what are we saying? Colombia are good? I didn't watch Colombia because it was on at like stupid o'clock. Oh no, I didn't watch Colombia because it was on after England at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'd had a few drinks for the England game, and basically when England play I don't do any more watch-alongs, so I haven't watched them play yet. But I've heard good feedback on Colombia, but I haven't watched them play. And I think Colombia are one of those weird teams where a lot of their players don't play. We don't know who they are. Corner to Morocco. Oh, what a goal. I thought he'd scored. What a save. Corner comes in. Front post header by Alcanaz. Keeper got there, but I thought it had still gone in, and he's clawed it out very well. Very good save by Gunn in goal. What's your favourite genre during Scotland versus Morocco, says Peter? I hope you're not talking about what I think you are. Yeah, keeper's made a very good save there. I'm doing a last one standing. There was 230k people that started after the first round. 200k people got knocked out and only 30 are left already. Shows how unpredictable and entertaining this World Cup is, says Dan. And I can't, says, as a Moroccan, I'd like to see us win against France. We deserve to get a strike back against the Frankies. And Mazraoui, new United left back, playing well, says Sam. Jay Gravit, thanks for your follow on TikTok. He's in again, but Scotland keeper jumps on top of it. If you're watching on YouTube, by the way, please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, as always. When I went onto Instagram and I saw oh, God, don't. People really do click you up for everything, don't they? They do. Everything. There must be people watching this stream now waiting to clip something up. Like, everything gets clipped. I don't go on TikTok very often, but you're always getting clicked. On the penalty, 55% say yes, 45% say no. I think I'd need to see every angle, really. Look up Country Road song sang in Seattle after win. It's electric. I know United borrow and replace it with Old Trafford. Thanks for all you do. Oh, I know the song, Jack. To Old Trafford. Mark, Notts County is the oldest professional football club in the world. Stoke, my home city, is the second oldest. 1863 founder, members of the club, says Anglo-Saxon. Thanks for that, pal. Look, it's only 1-0 at the moment. Scotland can still get back into this. And they've got to try and keep the... Even if they lose, keeping the goal difference down is going to be very important, because if they do lose to Morocco and they do lose to Brazil, 3 points can get you through as long as your goal difference isn't shit. So as things stand, Scotland's goal difference is level, isn't it? 1-4, 1 against. So if they, even if they do lose this and they lose to Brazil low scoring, they could still do it. I am doing the Brazil game, yes. Reminds me, I need to set it up. I forgot to tell you at half-time what our schedule is as well. So I've been asked if I'm doing an Australia game. I need to look at that. So we're doing Brazil, Haiti at 1:30, so in about an hour. Turkey play Paraguay at 4 a.m. Not doing that. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock, Netherlands play Sweden. We are doing that. And 9 o'clock, Germany, Ivory Coast. 9 o'clock, we're doing that. I think those two games are brilliant. Netherlands, Sweden, and Germany, Ivory Coast are brilliant because it's about finishing first and second in those groups. So they're very important games. And I'm glad they're playing each other second, because, you know, sometimes in a group stage, the two best teams play each other third. They've already qualified, they rest players. So I think they're two banging games, like MB says. On Sunday, early hours of Saturday morning, Ecuador play Curacao. No. Tunisia, Japan, I would have done, but it's 5 a.m, so no. And then on Sunday day, Spain against Saudi Arabia at 5 o'clock, yes. Belgium against Iran, I'm going to have it on, but I'll be doing United Stand at 8 o'clock. Uruguay, Cape Verde at 11 p.m. I haven't made my mind up yet. Maybe is the answer to that. Maybe. Maybe not. I'll see. And then on Monday, early hours... sorry. Is there an early hours game on Sunday? Yeah, early hours game on Monday is New Zealand, Egypt at 2 a.m. Not going to do that. But on Monday evening, Argentina, Austria at 2 o'clock. It feels like ages since Argentina played. And then France, Iraq at 10 o'clock are our games. And then Norway, Senegal at 1 a.m. We'll do those. And then we're into Tuesday, where England are playing Ghana at 9 p.m. So that's the run of the next few days. It don't stop. It don't stop. 80 Destry says, hi Mark, I would love to hear your opinion on this topic. Do you think that the refs look at some countries differently? One example, Messi and the foul for which he did not even get a yellow card. I mean, all referees are susceptible to mistakes, aren't they? And also, I've been watching the World Cup since I was 10. And, you know, the World Cup is, whether you like it or not, about inclusivity and diversity of, you know, countries. Otherwise, somebody said it to me the other day, and I thought, in a way you're right, but in a way you're wrong. Lovely play by Portugal, good block by Scotland. They are defending well now, and they boot it clear. Somebody said to me, and I can't remember who it was, it might have been my daughter actually, they said, why have we got countries like Haiti and Jordan and Cape Verde in the World Cup when countries like Italy and Denmark are better? And I said, because it's a World Cup. And if we did it by ability, we'd probably have 40 European teams maybe. We don't. We don't. So I think, why are people saying Portugal? Have I said Portugal? I don't know what we said. I don't know why. Lads and ladies, I'm live chatting. You really need to stop jumping on words that I slip up on. I'm a human being. It's not AI. I've said Portugal against Scotland by mistake. Clearly Portugal aren't playing Scotland. Let me finish my point. My point is, when we're talking about referees, you're going to get referees from countries where the standard of football and the standard of refereeing is bad. So I don't think we can really home in on the inconsistency of some of the officiating, because some of these referees are going to come from countries where the football standard's bad. I mean, some of these referees come from the Premier League, so they're going to be bad. JF, thanks for the follow. M, thanks for the follow. Whale, thanks for the follow as well. Doak is coming on, or Doake, however you pronounce it. He's coming on. Kieran Tierney was meant to be a decent player at one point, wasn't he? I think he sort of lost out because of injuries. What's a 5 a.m. game you'd say stay up to watch, except England, says Krish? I think the problem I have with the 5 a.m. games is that if I was going to watch a 5 a.m. game, I'd go to bed at 10 o'clock and get up after, 6 hours sleep. The problem I have with the 5 o'clock game is if there's a good 1 a.m. game, you're basically asking me to stay up all night, and I'd literally be dribbling. Like I can't stay up watching football all night. That's my problem with any game that kicks off after 3 a.m. is problematic. I think we have got a 3 a.m. round of 32 game though. I was looking at this. No, we've got a 4 a.m. last 32 game. And it's a problem because we've got a 12 a.m. as well. So that 4 a.m. is going to be a real challenge on Friday, the 3rd of July. There is a 4 a.m. last 32 game. There's also a 2:30 a.m. last 32 game as well. In the last 16, there is a 2:30 a.m. game as well. Thank you. There's a 1 a.m. last 16 game, which could be England. England will play at 1 a.m. if they get to the last 16, if they top their group. There's still, even in the knockout stages, there are still some quite late games. There's a 2 a.m. quarter-final. They ain't. I tell you what, these early morning games, they ain't pissing off till the semis. Then it's 8 p.m. all the way. But there's a 2 a.m. quarter-final. J Ray says, "Who's got the better coverage, ITV or BBC?" Mate, you know the answer. 53% say it was a penalty, 47% say no. So it's probably, even there. We've got a free kick here for Morocco. Hakimi's going to whip it in. Nacho says, Marky Mark, did you watch the Mexico-Korea match? Unreal save by our goalie last minute. Vamos, Mexico. I wanted to watch the game, mate, but I went to bed. I was really tired. I'd had the first week of the World Cup, my sleep pattern was just on its arse, and I had an opportunity. Ooh, it's gone out for a goal kick. I had an opportunity last night to go to bed at 1:30 and not get up until 9, and I took it. Dane says England are in trouble when Harry Kane retires. There is no youth striker coming through. Absolutely, mate. There's nothing coming through. It's terrifying. Even and they're not as good, but even Ollie Watkins and Ivan Toney are touching 30. I don't know why, mate. I don't know why. In the mid-90s, you couldn't move for English strikers that were decent. Ian Wright, Alan Shearer, Chris Sutton, Teddy Sheringham, Robbie Fowler, like Les Ferdinand. There were just so many. Andy Cole. So many amazing strikers, and now I don't know. Why is there a why have we killed off English strikers? Not literally, but like why has it stopped? Jack, I am doing the 1:30 a.m. game. In fact, talking of which, the Brazilian team is out. Alisson in goal, Danilo, Marquinhos, Gabriel, and Douglas Santos at left back. Bruno G, Casemiro, Paqueta, and then Rafinha, Vinicius Jr. and Cunha is starting. Neymar not on the bench again. So obviously not fit. Could be a good night for Cunha. The longer it stays 1-0, the more chance Scotland have of just getting a moment. Stardust says, in fairness, there's barely any good strikers in the world anymore. Will says, what's your Chinese order? You know what? I wouldn't mind a Chinese now. At this time of night, though, in the UK, getting something delivered ain't easy. 80 says, thank you for answering. I do love Messi as a player. I just think there are double standards. Madibo got a direct red card yesterday. I understand why, but if Messi did something similar, it would be a yellow. I think the player who got sent off yesterday was very unlucky. I just think if the lad hadn't broken his leg, he wouldn't have got a red card, because it was a very unlucky challenge. But I do understand why the red was given, because it was, it resulted in, unlucky or not, a very bad injury. Anglo-Saxon says Mexico will be tough in the Azteca. They don't lose much. Altitude plays a part. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I want to bet on the Germany game, says 85th cousin. Haven't done before. Number one step. Your watch-alongs are the thing getting me through the summer. Oh, I love that, mate. Thanks for being part of this community. Thanks everyone who's on TikTok. Loads of people are giving us a follow. If you're on YouTube, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with us. Loads of watch-alongs coming along. We also react to all the latest transfer news across the summer as well. Lots of stuff going on with that. Of course, Diamonde, the Ivorian Coast winger of RB Leipzig. Liverpool have bid £100 million. That got rejected. They're expected to go back in. Elliot Anderson to Man City is getting closer. Supposedly Madrid are considering 100 million plus Tchouameni for Elise, or 130 plus Camavinga, says Dino. I don't think that helps Real Madrid though, does it? I don't think selling Elise to Real Madrid helps Bayern Munich, because everybody knows that if you sell Elise to Real Madrid for 175 million, who are Bayern going to replace him with? If you compare United first 12 games versus last season, we'll have 30 to 36 points. 9 wins, 3 draws and no losses. First 20 games, 15 wins, 4 draws, 1 loss. I don't know what you're doing, Quake official, but yeah, okay. So, thank you very much. Europa and Atoma, thanks for your follows. Will says, is it just me or do you hate one-footed wingers? I don't like one-footed footballers, full stop. I've always been two-footed. In fact, my left foot is better than my right foot at power, even though I'm right-footed. So I don't understand how a professional footballer can't be asked to work on their weak foot to a point where you can actually use it. It's amazing. Amazing. I mean, look at Anthony. I just think it says something about a player if you can't use your weak foot. It means you haven't been asked at any point in your life to actually develop it. If you're an amateur footballer, I completely understand that your left foot or your right foot is for standing if it's your weak foot. But as a professional footballer and as somebody that can use both feet, there's no excuse. There's no excuse at all. I genuinely love the concept of a watch-along, says Adrian. I wouldn't have stayed up to watch these games without this community. Big love from Norway. I'm loving the fact that we're getting new people involved. Thank you for being part of the community, pal. I've got a hydration break here, so I do need to stand up. I'll tell you what, talk about hydration break. I need a toilet break. I did say to Gary, can I have a bucket in the corner where I go to a toilet? And he said, it's not the problem that we wouldn't be able to see it, it's the noise. It's not very professional. I said, well, it's not very professional if I piss myself, especially with these colour shorts on. I do need a piss, but I'll get through. 22 minutes is fine. I'm not at that point yet where I can't hold it. Some people in the chat are saying this game is rigged. In what way? How have the United players done this World Cup, says Hex? Well, I think Mazraoui's having a good World Cup. Hopefully Cunha tonight, he's playing up front for Brazil, is going to bag a few as well. Mainu, we've not seen him yet. I mean, Rashford's technically a Man United player, scored a good goal. Bruno, not so good so far. Martinez looked very good for Argentina. Lamons is obviously sat on the bench. Hi, Mark. Hope all is well. Any chance Angry Ginge could come back on the United stand? Jake, I can pretty much guarantee we will have Angry Ginge back on the United stand next season. 100%. He might not even know he's coming back on it, but I know he will come back on it because I just know there's a show that he would love to do. He'll come back on. Thank you very much. Would you take Endrick for United? Well, I would do, Kevin, because we need a bloody backup striker. Right, Mark, no excuse for not using both feet as a professional footballer. Absolutely, Anglo-Saxon. Absolutely. All these top clubs bidding and United have only got a third choice midfielder, says Hazen. Thanks for your super chats, by the way. I tell you what, I don't want to jinx anything as well. I was very worried coming into this World Cup that we were going to have loads of games where the weather was going to, you know the old, if there's some thunder within so many miles of the stadium, you have to stop playing for 30. We've not had any of that yet. So I'm sure we will do at some point, but we haven't had any yet. And looking at the weather in Philadelphia for Brazil, it's clear blue skies there as well. So lovely stuff. Rick, thank you very much for the follow. Tony says, are the Scottish players drinking iron brew in their hydration break? I'll tell you what, I haven't had any iron brew in ages. Give me some non-football start bench sales actually, because it is late at night. I do like to filter in funny little conversations and topics. Thanks everyone who subscribed, by the way, on YouTube. We're only 200 subscribers away from 487,000. So click bottom right-hand corner, subscribe to the channel. It's free to do. Loads of watch-alongs to get involved in. Be part of this amazing community, this fantastic World Cup. I don't think any Scottish player has. Someone was saying McTominay's been a bit shit. I don't think any Scottish player has stood out this tournament really. I thought Haiti, it wasn't the most exciting performance. I did expect a little bit better. There's still plenty of time in this game, and they've got Brazil, of course, but I find them quite hard to watch. I asked this once, but I want to hear your opinion as well, says 80. Why do some people in England care more about the clubs they cheer for rather than their country doing well at the World Cup? I don't know. I mean, I think that's always been I think Liverpool fans, I might be being stereotypical here, but I've always felt like there's a lot of Liverpool fans that don't give a shit about England. It's just Liverpool and only Liverpool. I'd rather Man United win the Premier League than England win the World Cup if I had that option, because Man United's more important to me. But obviously I do want England to do well, but I support my club more than my country in a footballing sense. But yeah, there are people who just don't really give a shit about England, even though they're English. Sanyik says, Rory was class. Good host. He's very good. Very good. I like Balogun as a backup striker for United, Albert. Bouadi's better than Baleba. Should be on the list, says Suhar. Probably cheaper as well. Mark, my words. Thanks for your follow. How many pints, Mark? I haven't had any pints today. But... No, I have. I had a pint of Hawkstone and was down above, yeah. Robert says, can you rate Wilcox out of 10 so far? It's very early in the window. I'd probably say a 6. Edging towards a 5. Tell you what, the keeper there, I don't think it's a foul by either, but there's a bit of a collision. When you go, won't you send back a letter from America? Take a look on the rail track from Miami to Canada. They've got to be the best Scottish accent band. Well, I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 5,000 miles to stand down at your door. Da-la-la-da. I'll tell you what one of my favourite Scottish bands is, Texas. I don't want a lover. I just need a... Good Scottish bands. I feel like I've missed somebody really good. Mount Rushmore of backdrop sets you've had on either this channel or United Stand, says Joel. I mean, the green screen's got to be on there, hasn't it? The one with the little window on it looking out to Old Trafford. That was very good. I think the very first one, which had the Old Trafford printed images on it, very old school. This one would definitely be on there. I think this is one of my favourites as well. And probably the one before this, the house before this, where it was all the shelves and stuff. So, yeah. Best Scottish band was Resolos, says Doug. Now Sweet Caroline, says Constantine. No, because I hate the Southgate bit. Start, bench, sell, Dublin, Nottingham, Birmingham, says Matthew. Honestly, do you want the honest answer to that? Seriously, do you want me to really go there? I would sell Nottingham, bench Birmingham, and start Dublin. I never liked Nottingham City Centre, even when I was a kid. I certainly don't now. It's changed for the worst. Lovely ball in behind here for Morocco. If he squares it, why did he not square it? Bloody hell. I tell you what, I absolutely, totally and utterly agree with the Moroccan forward there, because he should have been played in. It was ridiculously greedy from I think it was Diaz. He should have played it into Sabari. I don't know why he didn't do it. So greedy. Rest in peace, Donny Stratty. I'm not Googling who it is. I'm just doing some research for tomorrow. So Donny was a 76-year-old Scottish fan who died at a hotel in Boston. And was a long-serving Tartan Army member. I tell you what, I didn't know who it was. I hadn't seen the news. I'm glad I did look at it, because that's a lovely thing to do. And I presume they did it in the 76th minute, because he was 76 when he died. What a lovely touch. And what a lovely way to do it on the scoreboard as well. New York. Thanks for the follow, Ollie Dobson and Hannah. and Sanjay? Can Scotland get a point here that would qualify them to the next stage? They've been infinitely second best in this tie, but they're still in it. And as they always say, you got to be in it, so win it. Brazil. I'm just setting up the stream now. I've just realised. It's all right me saying I'm doing it. I haven't set the bloody stream up. Good run down the wing here from Morocco, but a win for Brazil and a win for Morocco. Well, Morocco, a win for Morocco, and they've qualified, haven't they? They can't be caught. D. Cole, thanks for the follow. Vicky as well, and Simon. Don't leave me this way. That's Alison Moya, isn't it? No, that's the Communards. Don't think they were Scottish. Lead singer of the Communards was Jimmy Somerville. I'd rather sign him than the West Ham one. No, I wouldn't actually. I don't think he's a bad player. I just want better. I want Diamonde. Okay, that'll do. Right, I've set it up now. Brazil, Haiti, I've set it up. Football Reels, thanks for your follow. And Dream and Stan the Man. Travis are a great Scottish band. The song Turn is fantastic. The Man Who is a very good album. It's one of the albums that there's very few albums. I mean, I don't know if people even listen to albums anymore, but it's an album where you can listen to most of the songs on it. That's always the sign of a good album. Remember when you buy an album and you only like 3 songs? I think a really good album is one where you can listen to the whole. David Gray, White Ladder. You can listen to it all. Coldplay, Parachutes. Is that their first album? You can listen to it all. Some cracking tunes on that. Masterplan, Oasis. Definitely maybe Oasis. What's the Story, Morning Glory, Oasis. Radiohead, OK Computer. Very good albums all the way through. Apart from Fitter, Happier, More Productive. That's a load of shit. True Gent says, rest in peace, Benny. Miss you, big man. Start, bench, sell, Memento, Taxi Driver or Heat. Definitely starting Heat. Sell, Memento, bench, Taxi Driver. McTominay wants a penalty. I don't think that one was. Legit, I don't think that was a penalty. There's loads of people going mad about the ref. I don't think that one was. I'd like to see the one on McGinn again. They haven't shown it for ages, but I definitely don't think that was one at all. Start, bench, sell, Coxey, Data Dean, Vinny. Vinny! Daniel says, also New York, Dublin, Mallorca. I'd start New York. I'd bench Dublin and I'd sell Mallorca. I like Mallorca, but I think Dublin and New York mean more to me and are bigger. Thank you very much for your super chat, Daniel. Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory, says Rudolph Red. I've not listened to that. Rossi says, start, bench, sell, the Chase, Bullseye, or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Oh, I'd sell Bullseye. I'd bench. At its peak, I'd start Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but now I'd bench it and I'd start the Chase. Running out of time, Scotland. You're running out of time. You'll be running out of time here, lads. You might want to move it along. No bother. Milton says Scotland are not able to justify their place in the World Cup. They're toothless and slow, mate. It's too... yeah. I don't think that was a penalty on McTominay. I think he knows it. The Verve Urban Hymns is a good album, you're right. Well, it was a long time since Sabari's goal. He's gone off now. In fact, he's changing the front three here. Ooh, first yawn, that's fine. See, I'm really glad this game's kicking off at 1:30 because the 2 o'clock game, it's that gap between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. where, what do you do? I normally get my guitar out and just practice a few chord changes for a few minutes. Well, remember I said at half-time, Scotland hold the record, the world record, for the most appearances without ever making it through to the group stage. Can they get through with 3 points? There will be teams who go through in third with 3 points, but, you know, you're putting it into the... Oh, side netting McTominay from a very similar place that Morocco scored from. Gets him down the channel. And a good block. He's got a lovely finish on him, McTominay, hasn't he? Corner to Scotland. My bet builder's not happening, is it? It looks so good. I had Morocco to score, yes. Morocco to win, yes. Sabari to score, yes. Over 2.5 goals, no. Over 7 corners, no. And Ferguson to get booked, no. In fact, I don't think we've not had any bookings again. There's been a lot of games in this tournament where we've not had any bookings. No bookings again. I don't know whether yellow cards is a market worth doing, actually. Refs are letting a lot go, aren't they? Six corners. It was looking so good. Salongo and Junior and Jay Perez, thanks for your follows on TikTok. Liam says, are you a fan of hydration breaks? If I was in the ground, I'd hate it. But because we're doing watch-alongs, like we're always chatting, so it doesn't really make a great difference to me. I came to one of your live shows in Manchester when you had Ben on. Will there be any more this year? I haven't got any planned this year. With some of the changes that are coming in content in the new season, I wouldn't be surprised if we started doing some live shows. Keen Hopes and Fears is a very good album to listen to all the way through, Blakey. That's a good call. Good cross in the box. Oh, there's a song by Keane I really love. It was a bit not as well known as some of their songs. Was it something Starlight Cafe or something? I love that. That was a Stone Paul penalty mark. He clipped McTominay's standing foot, says Sahaj. Not given. Must choose one to start all season, Onana or Malacia. Malacia. You can't put Onana in goal all season, sir. Why can't United hijack a deal for Sabari? Because I think if I was him, I'd rather sign for Bayern Munich as well, Albert. Fight horse-sized Neville or 100 duck-sized Keanes? Why am I thinking this through? I'm thinking this through, like how to beat a low block. I'd be fascinated by 100 duck-sized Roy Keanes. I think 100 ducks of duck-sized Roy Keanes would be harder to beat than a horse-sized Neville, because then again, a horse is quite tall. I've thought this through too much. I have to take on the ducks. Imagine Mainu and McTominay in the double pivot, says Mizzo. I think it'd be horrible, mate. I think you actually think that's a good thing. You know when you're, with your mates and you think you come out with a good joke and it's crap. I actually think you think that's a good idea. I think that's crap. I think a midfield of Mainu and McTominay is crap. There is no defensive cover there at all. But I think you've typed that thinking you're talking, imagine a midfield of Declan Rice and Bruno Fernandes, Start, bench, sell. Kane, Elise, Haaland. Elise starts. Kane benched. Haaland sold. Phoenix says Morocco are tiring. I think Morocco, from what we've seen in the first 2 games, they're a very good team in the first half an hour, but they do start to fade later in the game. But look, Scotland don't look like they're going to get an equaliser. But I think keeping it to 1-0, I know it's still a loss, but goal difference could still be key. Dino says you have 2 tickets, one for the Champions League final with United in it, or the same night VIP tickets to see Heat 2 at the cinema. Mate, Dino, I like film, but that's the Champions League final for Man United. Definitely going to that. Lucas says, I live in Boston. Scotland have been a joy. Excited for English fans to come. Hopefully we won't run out of beer. Well, hopefully the English fans do behave, mate. I mean, we have a bit of a reputation over the years, but I think it's a lot better these days. So I'm sure they'll be great. James Nolan, thanks for the follow. Vic as well. The ref has been outrageous. I think if you're Scottish, I get your point. I thought the McGinn one did look like a penalty to me. Apparently it was a dive, but I'm going to stick to my original thought. I thought that was a penalty, and I don't know why it wasn't given. That was the one for me. Good play by Morocco here, but we're into the 90th minute now. But yeah, from Scotland's point of view, keeping the goal difference down is good. Bink says, it's hard not to be frustrated with the poor fishing. I don't like complaining about it because it's part of the game, but different story when you have 3 games to do something rather than a full season. Yeah, I mean, as I say, I think if you're Scottish, you're not going to be happy with the officiating. I understand it. From a neutral point of view, I think you could have got a penalty on McGinn. What I would say is that I think Morocco have been a lot better than you, and probably not done enough. Where does this World Cup rank for you so far, says KG? I mean, I wouldn't be ranking it now, because it's very early days, but I think it has the potential to be one of the greatest World Cups we've ever had, because I think it's got a lot of things going for it, you know. Lisa says, my husband has cheated. What did I do wrong? I can't answer that off a sentence, can I? Hi, Mark. Thomas Bergeson's Humanity albums are great to listen to. Thanks for the watch along, says Mr. Salvatore. Thank you. George says the officiating has been very good. Yellow cards aren't enough of a punishment when you have 5 subs, says ZB. They're in here, Morocco. Ooh, good shot, and I think it's a goal kick. It looks like Curtis Jones, doesn't he, that Telby? It was a good save. I am doing Brazil Spa Monster, yeah. Spa-Mon, sorry. Aiden says, I'm Scottish and we're embarrassing to watch. Decision making is awful and McGinn and McTominay are awful. 6 minutes added on. We've still got 3 to go. Slick Star, thanks for your follow. Matty says ref's been decent. Chase says they've had no shots on target. It's embarrassing. Mark Riley, thanks for the follow. Good cross into the box by Scotland there. I tell you what, I think Morocco have been quite impressive in this tournament, but what I would say is if they want to go deep, they will need to be more clinical in this tournament. As a European, are you impressed with the stadiums in America? In my opinion, some of the best stadiums aren't being used. MetLife is a horrible choice for the finals, as KG man. Why? I don't know why some of the stadiums haven't been used. I think Chicago was meant to be used, but they turned it down. I'm very impressed. I love American sports anyway, and I love the NFL. I love NFL. It's such a short season. That's the problem. But so to see these stadiums in a World Cup again is great. It's been great to have the Azteca as well, as Danzy says. So yeah, I very much enjoyed it. Who is your man of the match? Says Mo. I think I'd probably give it to the guy. I think in a game like this, the goal was so good, I probably would give it to Sabari. Yeah. Because it's without it, it's a 0-0. So he's rescued us from a 0-0. So yeah, I think I would go with that. If he switches it, it could be 2-0. No, he's gone too wide. Oh, I tell you what, he did quite well there. Please click and subscribe on YouTube. Bottom right hand corner to do that if you haven't done that yet. And yeah, we're in this situation where we're going to be live again in a very short period of time because I haven't got to wait till 2 a.m. It's a 1:30 a.m. kickoff, so we're kicking off in about half an hour. Toilet break, refreshments, and back at 1:30. Maybe time to get a little bit of something to eat. Oh! I thought Scotland had done it. 30 seconds left. I thought it was a Scotland volley. It's actually the defender who volleys it out for a corner, and I thought he'd nearly volleyed it in his own goal. Corner, Scotland. Literally the last 10 seconds here. Are you going to do Brazil on TikTok? I will set up one on TikTok for you, yeah. It'll be live again in about half an hour. This is it for Scotland. Cross comes in. Headed away. And Morocco could break. He's got to foul him. And that probably stopped a goal, to be fair. He gets a yellow card. Moroccan manager. He's blown the full-time whistle. And it's a win for Morocco. Disappointing from Scotland, but the fact that you only lost 1-0, goal difference could be key in getting through. So as long as you don't get battered by Brazil, I think you might end up doing it on goal difference. Goal difference of 0 now, as you can see, but they could still do it. Nedu says that was a rubbish match. Well, I think the next game we're going to see goals. Goals. I mean, we could see 6. We could see... I don't think we're going to see Haiti pull off a 0-0. I think we're going to see Brazil score a lot of goals. Anyway, come back to it with a load of questions and topics. It's an early morning stream on That's Football. We're loving this World Cup. It's been fantastic. And I'll see you over there in about 20 minutes. Thanks for watching.